Mme Anna diriliki tsa hae di a sebetsa. Ha o ka utlwa mafatshe a mang bo Canada bo kae ba rapela Mme Anna o ba etsetsa mohlolo. Ba etsetsa mohlolo because ntho e batlang wa ithola wa kula wa fola ngwana ona hlahe a sa tsebe ho bua a sa bone ilare ha utlwa lebitso la Anna mahlo a buleha o kgona le ho bua. So Mme Anna wa phila, Mme Anna o motle, Mme Anna o re etseditse mehlolo ka hare mahlo a rona.
Oho Anna ya halalelang ya molemo Maria Moverigo. Kajeno ke kena kopanong e kgethetsweng wena. Ke o kgetha hore o be moelli wa ka, sesupiso sa ka le mothusi wa ka. Ka mehla ke tla leka ho rata, ke ho etsise ka bophelo bo kgabane, ka bosebeletsi le ka thabo. Ke o rapela ka pelo ya ka yohle, hore o nkamohele ke le moradi wa hao, mme o nsireletse ka mehla. O nkopele neo ya ho rata Modimo ka pelo ya ka yohle, le moha Yesu jwalo ka ha ke ithata. Le hore ke se etse sebe bophelong ba ka. Nthuse ho hola kgalalelong, mmoho le lelapa lohle la ka. O nthapelle ho Modimo hore ke be mosadi le mmabana ya lokileng, setho se tshepahalang sa kopano le kereke.
Ekungeneni kwami emshadweni ngathatha isikhathi ukuthola abantwana. And ngibathola ngibambe yazi izinto zikaNkulunkulu. So angifunda ihistory ka-Anna. Athe ngosinoma noma efana nami. Ngoba nami ekhaya uzozwa abantu abadala bekhuluma bevakashela umamazala wami kuzothiwa umakoti akaka. You know umakoti akaka. Hayi ngathi ngiyamthanda lo mama. Ungathi ngizomlandela.
Ka motsotso wa lefu la ka, eba haufi le nna o na le mangeloi le bahalaledi, mme le mphelehetse ho ya fihla ho ntata rona ya mahodimong. Amen.
Welcome to My Sodality My Pride with St. Anne Sodality. My name is Kananelo Mapoko and I'm standing in for Kensani Gija, the presenter of My Sodality My Pride, right here on Radio Veritas TV. We're going to be in conversation with Mme Tumediso. She's a member of the St. Anne Sodality. She's a young member of the St. Anne Sodality. We know that when we think about St. Anne Sodality, we tend to think of our grannies, our grandmas, but recently, in recent years, we see younger and younger people joining the Sodality. An example of such a person is Mme Tumediso. And she's going to unpack for us how the Sodality is a Sodality for both the young and the old, and she's going to take us through her personal journey of St. Anne Sodality. It's always interesting when you hear people's personal journeys on this program, My Sodality My Pride, as to what made them join that particular Sodality and what keeps them going in that Sodality. That's what we have for you in store. Remember to subscribe to Radio Veritas TV right here on YouTube, like and subscribe. But for now, let's take a break, and after this, we'll be back with Mme Tumediso.
Multinational hustler. Hustler is what echoes in my mind. You see, you'll be surprised to find out how far you can go from the moment you thought it was the end of you. So be a hustler. The sleepless nights, the anxiety, the fear of being called a failure to grab an opportunity to fly, to explore, and to conquer. So be a hustler. Still contemplating? Well, the streets are not empty. So is your head, let alone your bookshelf. So get up, rise up, and stay up, hustler. Be a multinational hustler.
Welcome back, right here on Radio Veritas TV. You're watching My Sodality, My Pride with St. Anne Sodality. My Sodality, My Pride is a program where we get to learn about the various sodalities in the Catholic Church. We've had the first season with Sacred Heart Sodality, and we're currently going through the journey with St. Anne Sodality. And on this episode, we have Mme Tumediso with us. a very young lady who joined the St. Anne Sodality. And I mentioned that previously, you know, whenever we thought of St. Anne Sodality, we used to think about our grandmas. I, for example, have a granny who is a member of the St. Anne Sodality. And looking around, going with her to all these various gatherings with St. Anne Sodality members, I'd look around me and see grannies. But in recent years, I've come to notice that we have younger members joining the St. Anne Sodality. So we're going to hear from yet one of the younger members on this episode, and that is Mme Tumediso. Hi, Mme Tumediso, how are you?
Good afternoon, Kananelo. How are you?
I'm awesome, thank you. And thank you very much for joining us on My Sodality, My Pride.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm quite humbled to be here.
Oh, thank you very much. Mme Tumediso, we have met, you know, we've met in various settings, and for the very first time, we're meeting right here on Radio Veritas TV, and very excited to be having a conversation with you. Now, before we get into our conversation, which is really us unpacking St. Anne Sodality, being a sodality for both the young and the old, please just share with us, who is Mme Tumediso?
So, Mme Tumediso is a St. Anne member from St. Angeles in Dobsonville. So, my calling actually happened 5 years ago. So I've been a member for 5 years now. I'll be turning 5 in October. So I think what attracted me to the sodality was just how my grandmother carried herself. You know, I think I still have so much respect for her. May her soul rest in peace. So that was just one of the things that attracted me to the sodality. And after her passing as well, I think I dreamt of her giving me the purple cloth. So that's how I knew that this was my destiny. And over and above the years, I had to prepare myself mentally for my calling because, you know, we go through things, I mean, in this day and age as young adults. One of the things that I didn't want was to be married, but, you know, I had to find my Joseph, you know, so that I can be a full member of the sodality. You know, we do have criteria. You have to qualify. You know, it's the sodality for married women. So I had to be married in order for me to be a sodality member. So I tried to be part of the sodality at a younger age, but I always had like a backlash from the grannies, especially from where I come from in Mafikeng, which is a very rural town, you know. So for them, it was like strictly for grannies. And I think 6 years ago when the calling came, it was too strong. I couldn't ignore it, and that's when I decided to find, because I used to go to church in Florida, but they didn't have the sodality. So I had to go to Soweto to find a parish that had the sodality. And I mean, the welcome that I received there, I was not expecting it because of my previous experience, but it was quite amazing. You know, I mean, my grannies have taken me under their wing. They've taught me everything that I know. Even though sometimes it gets trickier because I'm young, they're old, so sometimes they don't understand how I do things. But they're always open for a conversation, you know. So yeah, that's how I ended up being where I am today.
Wonderful. Now you shared quite a lot, right? I want us to unpack some of the things that you mentioned. How old were you when your grandmother passed away?
I think I was 22 or 23. Yeah.
And you remember vividly that dream which she gave you?
Yes. No, the dream I think came when I was about 28. Okay. But I was still not ready for it, but it was something that I was preparing for, you know. And I think one of the things that people don't understand is that sodalities like St. Anne, you need to be prepared to be part of the sodalities because there's so many things that you have to do when you're part of the sodality. There's certain things that you have to stop doing when you're now the sodality member because it's one of the respected sodalities in the Catholic Church. Which is Father. So if I am not prepared, if I am not doing the good things, how am I going to go to a priest and have a conversation to say, look, this is what's happening. I think this is not supposed to be happening. How about we do it in this way if I do not have self-respect? So it's just one of those things that you need to be prepared mentally, emotionally, and physically, you know, just to know that certain things I won't be able to do them. Like, I can't party like I used to now, you know, because I'm not a girl anymore. when people
Nkgono wa
say that-
Jesu.
exactly. I used to get so upset. But now I think I've eased into the fact that and I'm enjoying it and I'm embracing it every day.
And that's so true. St. Anne's Sodality is so revered in the church, and it's so respected as a sodality. And I understand what you mean when you say when you join the sodality, there are obviously certain things that you kind of need to let go of. I find it interesting that you refer to it as a calling. Some people might just say, I'm a member or I joined, but you are very specific in you referring to the sodality as a calling. You had this calling, the calling became strong. Why are you using the word calling? What does that mean to you? And when it became strong, what exactly were you experiencing at that point in time?
So, like a calling, it's very spiritual, right? You don't just wake up and say, this is what I have to do. That's why we see there's so many people that are doing certain things, but they leave them halfway because it's not their calling, right? But the reason why I refer to a calling, it's because it's something that keeps me going, I wake up every night and I see visions of where the sodality needs to be.
Wow.
I pray about it. That's why I wake up at 12 and 3 to pray, because I feel like that's when I can connect with God, because I think that I'm getting all of those things from the calling that I have, because it's something that's guiding me. We tend to live our lives without guidance, right? We just do as we please. But for me, it's very specific. And I think that's why I refer to it as a calling, because I don't think if it was a calling, I'll still be here, because I've been through a lot. And the challenges that I've had to face in the sodality, if it wasn't a calling, I would be at home watching TV right now. But because that calling was so strong, it was too powerful for me to ignore. That's why I'm still here. Sometimes I leave church or I leave a meeting with such a heavy heart. And I get home and I pray about it and I cry and I go to bed and I wake up feeling so good and more intent to say, you know what, actually I'm going to do this. Because unfortunately, we're not angels in the sodality. We're humans. We live in the real world. So there will be someone who will say something that won't sit well with you, but I don't think that's intentional as well.
I guess like family as well. You have your siblings, you have your parents, cousins who might say something that might hurt you, but that was not the intention. So it's part of life.
Exactly.
What I find interesting, I did say that the fact that you specifically use the word calling, I find that particularly interesting. And thanks for sharing and unpacking as to what that means to you. You mentioned that you're from Mafikeng, and that's when you wanted to join the sodality, and you were very young, and the grannies were like,
Yes.
But you still stayed at it. You could have said, okay, they don't want me to join, let me go find another home or another sodality. But you knew that this is the sodality for you, and this is where your heart is at, and this is where you belong. And when you came this side, you went to a parish that didn't have St. Anne's sodality. Then you found a parish that had, and you felt right at home. I do also believe that it is a calling, that perseverance that you had through that journey, and the challenges that you come through, you're still sticking through it. Now, I'd like us to talk about you being a young person in the sodality. St. Anne's sodality has always been known as the sodality for grandmas, And for me, I always thought maybe it's because St. Anne is Jesus's granny, and maybe because of that, that's why you have grannies who are part of the sodality. And lately, my observation has been that there are quite a number of young members also joining, people in their early 20s even, joining St. Anne's sodality. How has your experience been as a young person in the sodality?
Look, it's quite challenging because we are getting into a sodality of grannies that understand the sodality in and out. We're getting into a space of the grannies that loves the sodalities, that practices everything that has to do with the sodality. So as young members, we come in and we want to switch things up. And it's not coming from a bad place. It's just that you're seeing that there is an opportunity for us to do this, and you present it. But I think it's how you present it that bothers our grannies, and also it's the manner of approach, because you find that most of the young members are very feisty, but it's not feistiness of being arrogant. It's just that yes, they want to be active, they want to work, they want to do this, but there's a place and time for everything. I believe that we just need to get into the sodality, get to understand the sodality, get to know what the sodality is about, learn as much as possible from the grannies, because I am telling you that they are there to help us. It's up to you what you do with the knowledge and the help that you're getting from them. And once you've earned your place, then you can start having a conversation to say, but Bongono, how about we do this in this way?
I love that.
Because I can tell you now, I mean, you are aware that I'm the president at my parish of the Sodality. I find it quite challenging because they are used to their old ways of doing things, and I want to do things my way, right? But I don't make it about me. I make it about us to say, look, there's an easier way of doing this. How about we do it in this way? I'm telling you, I've had 6 conversations about one thing, but I know the 7th time they're going to be like, okay, cool, that's fine.
But I love the patience as well, what you're also sharing.
Yes.
There's such a big element of patience.
Yeah.
And for me, it's wisdom from the grannies. And the thing about wisdom is that you cannot buy wisdom. You earn wisdom. It comes with the years. So the wisdom is with the grannies. But coming with the new generation, that together, working together is wonderful. But it seems like you also got the recipe. It's about really being patient and earning your place. And then let's engage.
Exactly.
Don't impose. No. Don't come and want to change traditions.
That's not what leadership is about, especially in a Catholic, in not even a Catholic, in a church space. You need to respect.
Yes.
I think if you respect people, then they will respect you back. If Vampita and come for my girls, my golden girls, but they know who they went to I remind them so we have that relationship. So fortunately for me, I've been well received by other grannies from other parishes as well. So I have a lot of mothers, that I get the wisdom from. It depends on what I'm going through at that time, but I can tell you now that I've never had someone saying to me, no, I can't help you with this. Typical example, Mme Tumediso. I speak to her all the time if there's anything that I don't understand within the Sodality.
Who's Mme Tumediso?
She's from Regina Monti.
Okay.
Yes, she's a St. Anne member. She's been in the committee before. Mme Malo, if I need to speak, I can call her. I still call to Mme Shomani if there's anything that I need. So I speak to a couple of people. I'm making use of the resources that I have around me, because I think that's the only way I'm going to understand the Sodality, because I know that my journey within the Sodality is still very long.
Oh, that's beautiful, eh? So you're also getting wisdom from Bomme, but there's also a spirit of society, of oneness, unity with what you are sharing. I've seen you in action. I remember at my grandma's funeral, my granny's sister. She was also St. Anne member.
Yes.
So you were there, and I'm looking at this young St. Anne member. I've seen you before at Radio Veritas, but I didn't know you're the president. Now you're the president of St. Angela's. You there, you command a lot of respect, and you can see Lebo May around you. They actually see you as their president, and they receive you as their president. For me, that was a very warm sight to see, such a young lady, Lebo May, acknowledge this young lady as their president. So what are some of the activities that you would say happen, within the St. Anne Sodality that demonstrate the wisdom from the elderly members and the energy and excitement from the younger members come together?
So I've been blessed to work with the diocese, when it comes to fundraising. So from the moment I started, 5 years ago, I worked with the then diocese leadership, which was led by Ms. Kosana. So we did I think it was the fun walk that started at Regina Monti. The objective was obviously to raise funds, but to do something that Bonkonu would be able to participate on as well. I remember it was a very long journey, but the day happened and it went according to plan, and it was just amazing. I was actually watching the video where we were singing while they were busy cooking. Libome, Mama Lokota. It was fun, you know, and that's why I like when I'm with them, I don't feel young because they don't disrespect me, you know, they treat me like one of their own. Yeah, even though here and there Domingo get this, it's fun because I don't have a granny anymore. So that's where I feel like I'm spending time with her, since she's the one who wanted me there, you know. And I think a year before COVID, we also had the Fun Share Relay with Radio Veritas. The first one that we did, I think we won it. I think we raised about just over 100K as well.
That's great. Yeah.
And then we had the second one in 2020, just before COVID, and we lost to another Sodality that I'm not going to name because they're not important.
All Sodalities are important.
No. We're the grannies, right? So we're the leaders. And then we did another one this year and we won it. And it was through God's grace, our grannies' prayers, the unity within the Sodality. Because remember, Bonkonu, they don't have much money, but they managed to call in on the day and make their contribution, you know. So it went very well. I mean, I don't think we intended to win, but I know if my heart is there, I'm in a plan.
No, I think you intended to win, so let's not downplay it. The competition behind the scenes was right. Yeah. So I do think you intended to win.
Yeah. Now, so that just shows, you know, when we come together, we create magic between the young and, I don't like calling them old, but the matured. It's the matured one, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's really quite exciting, you know. And I want us to really unpack a bit on it, you know, the Fun Share Relay, because I do think it shows the coming together of the wisdom within the Sodality and the young spirit, the energy coming together. But we'll do that after the break. For now, we're going to take a short break. You're still watching My Sodality, My Pride, right here on Radio Veritas TV with St. Anne Sodality. We are in conversation with Mme Tumediso, and she is really taking us through her St. Anne journey, and it's been such a wonderful, wonderful experience journeying with her. Let's take a short break.
In a world where imagination knows no bounds, where a house is more than just a home, but a space of escape and relaxation, there exists a visionary named Soul Tubby Creations. Soul Tubby Creations is not just interior decorating and construction. They are a manifestation of your aspiration and dreams. With every piece, it ignites a spark of imagination in the hearts of those who live and experience their spaces. We personalize in creating spaces that reflect your style and taste, where creativity meets craftsmanship, making dreams come true, one room at a time. Discover the joy of being in a space created just for you. If you have the time, we have the quality.
Welcome back to My Sodality, My Pride, right here on Radio Veritas TV, with myself, Kananelo Mapoko, standing in for Nkensani Gija, presenter of My Sodality, My Pride. We are journeying with the St. Anne Sodality, and on today's episode, we have Mme Tumediso with us. And she's really taking us through this journey of St. Anne Sodality. We are talking about the Sodality being a Sodality for both the young and the old. And Mme Tumediso, being a younger member of the St. Anne Sodality, was really just sharing her experience of the Sodality. Before the break, we had just started talking about the Fun Share Relay. I want us just to go back to that, Mme Tumediso. Okay. Yeah, so with the Fun Share Relay, so we've had 4 so far. You're the current champions. The first one was won by St. Anne Sodality. Amen. Then Sacred Heart Sodality with CWA. And then we had CWL with Banaba Maria. And now St. Anne Sodality and Daughters of St. Anne.
Yes,
exactly. You really have done well. And I think the spirit of togetherness as well, you know, we keep talking about the wisdom from the older members and the energy from the younger members come together. And I think with the Fun Share Relay, for me, it's something that I was able to see, you know. And, you know, when you do your promos and stuff, you can feel the spirit of the younger ones come together. But on the day, you are there together. And it really shows, as you mentioned, the coming together of the wisdom and the younger people in the Sodality. And your experience, because you've been there for 3 of the Fun Share Relays, how has that been?
Yes, it's been great. Hey, actually, I got to learn quite a lot with regards to the Sodality, as well as working with you guys. It was quite insightful for me. And like I said, I learned a lot from that. And I think I started taking interest on Baradi as well, because at the moment they're very close to my heart. I've actually had a meeting with Baradi from Moletsane. They're working on a fundraising for the church, and they contacted me to say, maybe we've heard that this is what you do, so are you able to assist? So I've helped them, and they're going to have their family event, I think, on the 24th on Heritage Day at their church. So I'm very, very, very fond of them, and I think it spiked from the Fun Share Relay. You know, something good came from it, because now I formed relationship, and I just love them. And I always tease them to say, I cannot be wearing heels and you wearing flats. It doesn't work like that. So yeah, they're really very close to my heart.
Oh, that's beautiful. I think also the coming together. So not only within your Sodality, but also extended to the other Sodalities.
Absolutely.
Coming together. That's really wonderful. Now, Mme Tumediso, what are some of the projects that as St. Anne Sodality you are working on or thinking of working on? What can we expect?
Okay, so we've got a fundraising committee for the Johannesburg Diocese. So I'm one of the committee members, obviously representing the Soweto Deanery. So we are working on something exciting.
Okay.
That and it's coming out next year, you know. I can't disclose much information because it's still under wraps, but yeah, I'm looking forward to the launch next year, early next year.
Is it early? Oh, early next year.
Early next year.
Oh, we look forward to it.
Yes.
And I bet Radio Veritas TV will also be there. We'll talk.
We'll think about it.
Ooh.
Yeah. No, I'm joking. They'll definitely be there.
No, that's really wonderful. And all the best with that.
Thank you so much.
I can't wait. It sounds very exciting.
Yeah, no,
I can't wait for the launch.
It's gonna be massive.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, Mme Tumediso, in closing, please, we've got a lot of people watching us this very moment. Please give a message to younger ladies who want to join the Sodality. What would you like to say to them?
Look, I think it's imperative that you understand what is it that you want from the Sodality, because you're going to get exactly what you want, you know. But you also need to be ready, you know, to accept the challenges that comes with the Sodality, because nothing is easy, you know. Like I said earlier, that I've been through a lot since I received my calling within the Sodality. But I believe that I was meant to go through those challenges. Otherwise, I wouldn't be the person that I am today, or be where I am today. I've been through a lot. I can't even begin. I don't know where I would begin if I have to tell you about my journey within the Sodality. And it was not all bad, because it was building my current character, the person that I am. And it brought me close to God, you know. So there is an opportunity for young members, but you just have to understand that it's a Sodality for bonkgono bomme ba ba itlhomphang. Because it's important to understand that you're not coming here to play. You need to serve the church. If you want to be part of the Sodality, you need to serve the community. You know, you need to serve the family. Those are the three main important factors that and that's why sometimes I run around like I'm crazy, and you know, I sit by myself and say, actually, I need to take a break from church. But if I want to take a break from church, then who's supposed to be doing what I'm doing? Because that's my calling, like I said, you know. So sometimes I feel like I'm running on an empty tank. But I know that God will provide.
God always provides.
He does. I am rich spiritually. I am full. I am so blessed. And every time when people say, how are you? And I say, I'm blessed, they're like, Mama tickets, of course. Because I am blessed, right? So we take things for granted. We continue asking God for a lot of things. and forgetting that we're still blessed because we have a lot. We've got a roof over our head. I'm sitting here today, I can have a glass of water. Some people don't have that.
That's so
you
true.
know, so there is an opportunity for all of us to be part of the Sodality, as long as we're willing to work together and learn from the best, because they know what they're doing. It's their
I love
Sodality.
that. And I love how you keep affirming it,
Yeah.
throughout our conversation. So a young person is watching us and says, yes, this is my Sodality. Yes, I resonate with what Mme Tumediso is talking about. What's the next step? How do they get to join the Sodality?
Obviously, they need to go to their parish and find the leadership from their parish, and then they can chat to them. They will then let them know, or they'll explain all the processes of how they can be part of the Sodality. But remember that you need to have proof that you married, because that's the first thing that we need, and then we'll take it from there. But like I said, it will depend on the parish, but the fact remains that you have to be married.
Thank you very much, Mme Tumediso, for that. We were in conversation with Mme Tumediso, and she was journeying with us through this journey, of my Sodality, My Pride. And the spotlight is currently on St. Anne's Sodality. As a young member of the St. Anne's Sodality, Mme Tumediso shared with us some of the experiences that she's gone through. She's shared with us some of the challenges that she's gone through, but she believes that needed to happen in order for her to be who she is today. She believes it's her calling, and through her sharing, you can hear that it is definitely her calling. She's accepted her calling, and she's journeying with it. And having heard Mme Tumediso's story today, let's also challenge ourselves. Ask yourself, what is your calling? Are you living your calling? Mme Tumediso is living her calling, and her calling is to be a member of the St. Anne's Sodality, and we got to hear all about it in today's episodes. That's it for today. Remember to subscribe to Radio Veritas TV right here on YouTube. Share the link with your friends. Let's become one big, happy family. This is My Sodality, My Pride on Radio Veritas TV, with myself, Kananelo Mapoko, standing in for Kensani Geja. God bless.